Hey guys, first of all, thank you so much for tuning into the video. This is such a special episode for me because not only is it the first, but it is with someone so incredible that I had the privilege of getting to sit down with. Eric is just the best dude ever, and being able to have the privilege just sitting down, get to know him, learn all his lore. It was such an awesome honor. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. And there are plenty more that I have planned out, and I can't wait to release even more awesome guests. If you like this, please drop a like and subscribe. It will really help the channel out. And as you'll hear me and Eric discuss, maybe if this series does well, maybe we will do a Smurf stream. So I really hope you enjoy the video. And just a quick little disclaimer. If you hear just like little minor audio cuts, it's not anything that's often but there are a few moments in the video where like you can hear a mic cut out, something it just was with the way the software captured it, but thankfully it's nothing that destroys the video. So I just want to throw that disclaimer out. This is my first one. I was super nervous doing this, so I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jack. A lot of you know me as Ricky now at this point. I am here with Senior Community Director of Dead by Daylight, the OG Costcoholic, the one and only Eric Pope. Eric, thank you so much for doing this with me, man.
Hello, thank you for having me. I didn't realize, man, episode one. You're rolling the dice for
I
episode one.
Yeah, you know what? I think I have a really fun lineup for this, but I know this one is the perfect way to start because I remember some of our conversations. I was like, oh, I love this guy.
Awesome.
I love, and
Always happy to chat.
and to start off with something crazy. This is hard to like. This is going to sound kind of like weird to hear, but it's been in 10 days. It's going to, as of this recording, in 10 days, it's going to be a year since Chandler spoke your name on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be a
Oh
year.
my God, time goes fast.
Isn't that wild?
Wow,
Because
that's
I
crazy.
because I opened Twitter and I like saw because I have that like still as a pinned tweet, and I was like, man, that's going to be a year.
What a journey.
Yeah, what a year it's been. But
It's been a
it,
packed year, man, and it's been a lot of happenings in the past year for sure.
yeah, but you and I, we had some fun conversations. I know you're a fan of many, many different things. You are a
Yep.
major video game fan. You are a major, major music fan. You have great taste, by the
Yes.
way.
Oh, thank you.
Um, I know you have a love for movies and everything.
Hmm.
So, and that's kind of the point of this whole podcast, talk video games, movies, and everything.
Hell yeah.
So let's take it to the beginning. Where,
Sure.
where did your love for video games start? When was there ever like a specific game that like made you think like, oh, I want to make a career
Yeah.
out of this?
Oh, that's a good. Well, I'll start with my first memory, and then it's not necessarily what takes me to wanting to work in games. My first memory of gaming, because I'm very old, Jack, was with the ColecoVision. So the ColecoVision was a competitor, I guess, to the Atari way back in the 80s, and my family had one. And there was this Smurfs game. Do we want to swear on this? Because I would
Oh, go for
say
it. Yeah, go for
this
it. Yeah.
fucking Smurfs game. And it is the most basic thing in the world. If you like look up a video afterwards, it is the most basic. But like the first thing you have to do is like jump over a tuft of grass. And if you don't do it, if you land on the grass, you die. And probably years of like the first years of my life until I was about, it was like, I'm talking like really early, like 4 or 5 years old. I could not get off the grass. It was so unnecessarily hard, the jumping mechanic. So I don't know what the rest of the game is, but literally the very first hurdle in that game I never got past, and it pisses me off to this day because that game's that's not good onboarding.
Well, maybe you'll just have to revisit one day. Maybe
Yes.
maybe you'll find an opportunity where you'll
Oh,
find an old Atari somewhere
future
and you'll
episode. Future
future
episode, we'll
episode.
do. We'll try to do a let's play of
A
it and see
let's
if we can
play.
get past. Yeah.
Hey, you know me. Don't threaten me with a good time because I will make it happen. I will
But
make it happen.
truly, to your question, I never thought I would have a career in games. Like I grew up in rural Maine. all the way, if you look at a map, all the way up the coast where it connects to Canada. Like my dad worked on the border, so literally we're right by the border. 400 people in my town. Just to see a movie, we'd drive 2 hours each way to Bangor, Maine.
Wow.
Um, and while I always knew I wanted to move away when I could, it never even crossed my mind that I could work in games. It was just such a far away goal
Yeah.
that at that point in my life, it just wasn't even part of the equation. And then uh, I'm in Boston in my 20s and out of school, just in the working world and miserable, like
Yeah.
it was like at a financial software company, just miserable. Um, and then a friend of a friend, I heard, oh yeah, like we were at what's the Japanese like restaurant where they fling the shrimp at you?
Oh,
Um,
hibachi.
yes.
Hibachi.
So it's a great way to meet people because our friends brought their friends, and this guy was like, "Oh, I work at a place called Harmonix," and I was like, "Oh, not familiar with that. That sounds awesome." And at the time, it was Guitar Hero, so we weren't at Rock Band period yet, but Guitar Hero had just entered the world stage, and he was working there, and I was like, "That's the coolest thing in the world." And so I really did at that point, my gears shifted into making it a goal to get in there. And luckily, because I was working at this software company, I was doing a form of testing. And obviously, video games needs quality assurance testing for sure. It's such a key part of game development. That was like my in with also his help to like get my resume in. Like that's unfortunately the piece you'll hear from the most people is like you need qualifications, but also, at least at that point in the industry, maybe it's different now, you needed some way to connect with a human, like to
Yeah.
get that foot in the door. And so he got my foot in the door in terms of I got a resume in and I got a contact of this poor dude that ended up being a friend of mine once I did get the job. This poor guy in the QA department. I would email him every week, like because he would
Yeah.
answer me, which was his fault. He shouldn't have answered me, but he was like, we don't have any openings. It's great. You have a great experience. As soon as we do, I'll let you know. And every week I would bother him. And to bless him, he did not just put me to junk mail. And then truly, once they had an opening, I could go in. I interviewed, and that's what got me in. But it was just like, it was such a far flung idea at that time. And this was also like, game degrees weren't really a thing in school. So like really there
Yeah.
wasn't a path. There wasn't a path that you knew unless you happened to meet someone or were in maybe a because that's the other thing. Boston was not a hotbed at that time for game development. So like maybe if you're on the West Coast where there's clusters of tons of companies. But yeah, very, very lucky. I still consider myself very, very lucky that I got in.
I feel like a lot of people I talk to, and this is kind of the reason why I want to start the podcast, because I feel like I've had so many conversations with people in the past year. Ever since, with my job, it's kind of my part where I have to speak to people now.
Hmm.
Um, so many people say like their career was such a far out thought, kind of like how you said. And I guess I'm sort of in that position because I never had a goal with myself. I
Hmm.
never, and that's what I love. I love that I never put that pressure on myself. I love what I do now. Is it something I'm going to do forever? No, I'm sure I'll find whatever calling I look for.
Hmm.
But I think I think that's an important thing for a lot of people to hear is
Yes.
most people don't know what they want
Oh
until
God, yeah.
very later. So
Yep.
I think, that's one of the best advice anyone can hear. So if anyone listening
I
to
th
this is in that part, follow that.
Totally. And I think it applies, sorry, to like schooling as well. I was brought up in a really traditional family. You're going to go to college and you're going to, you know, that gets you the good job, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And at least in games, it's not the case. Unless maybe on the programming side, they want to see like schooling and all that. But like, um, it doesn't have to be a thing. And then even if it does, even if you do go to college or university, as they call it up here in Canada, um, don't beat yourself up if like what you enter college thinking you're going to study and what you end up doing are different. Because that was the case for me. I
Yeah.
thought I was going to be a programmer. Uh, had never programmed. And they told me when I applied, they're like, yeah, yeah, no worries. We teach you how to do it. And by the end of the first semester, um, I changed majors because my brain could not click with
Yeah.
program. And I think a lot of people like you said, pressure themselves to have this whole life plan at such a young age. And now that I'm
Yeah.
old, it's such a young, like I'm seeing my kids that are, in a few years will be there. And it's like, how can you know what you want to do with your entire life when you're 18, that sort of thing. So I
Yeah.
totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. And you know, as you're just saying to anyone listening, take that advice. Listen to the Popinator.
I think it's important to just try to find the balance that you're happy with. So for me,
Mm,
like I mentioned, I was at a job I really loathed. I still had the balance because outside of work at that time in my life, I was doing a ton of comedy stuff in Boston. I was doing improv, I was doing sketch comedy with my friends. I had a great group of friends that was my life. So
yeah.
work, the 9 to 5 was like the classic, like I'm gonna go check in, get my paycheck, and not think about it afterwards. That was still a pretty nice balance. So work or career doesn't even have to be the thing that gets you there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well said. I mean, I feel fortunate because I've had many people tell me that they started studying and they feel like they wasted years of their life for
Mm,
something they don't even use.
hmm
So, there was a moment where I feel like some people, because I didn't go to college, that's something I'm still waiting on, but I didn't, I just kind of wanted to find myself. I wanted to challenge
Totally.
myself and do do what people. So I saw someone a month ago. They're like, dude, I regret. I hate it. Like I hate this. I'm drowning in debt. This is like one of the
Yeah,
worst
the debt
things.
is so nuts.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I'm not if anyone out there, I'm not saying don't go to school. I'm saying find yourself first before you
Yes.
do it. Definitely work, make money, save, don't make dumb decisions and blow your money. And just
Even that though is part of learning, right? Like,
yeah.
but yeah, don't do it in a way where it ends you up with a gambling problem or in jail.
Oh God, no. I have you ever been to Mohegan or Foxwoods?
Yes, I went to
Oh yeah.
Mohegan Sun. Yep.
Yeah.
I never went to Foxwoods, but went to Mohegan Sun. Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I went and she was playing blackjack and she won like $200 or something. I'm like, all right, just you're good. She's like, no, no, I can do this. I can do this. I was like, babe, you're gonna learn what gambling is. And then she
Quit while
lost it.
you're
She's like,
ahead.
I gotta make it back. I was like, babe, please don't. Let's just go. Let's just go. So
It's tough, man. Even people like, Michael Jordan is like super, super, super uh problematic gambler. Like
yeah,
someone who's at the top of his game, literally, his whole life, and he still had to chase this other thing, and he lost tons of money, he got in lots of trouble.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that specific thing is something it's an itch you'll never fully scratch.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to play slots, like if I'll do that sometimes. Sometimes I'll do like a round of blackjack, but I never. That's thank God I've had many people in my life teach me
Yeah.
what to do, like so
Yeah, you go there with like my mentality is I am spending this much money and it's like for a night out. It's
yeah.
not to make
Hmm.
money, and I assume I won't, and I never did.
Yeah. That's
But if you
yeah.
go in with that mentality, it's great because you're like, you
Yeah.
can have fun. It's like a weird adult Disney World feeling. It's a weird cool experience. But yeah, if you kind of go in with that mindset, you'll be safe.
That's kind of been like my mindset. I have my own savings. I have like stuff for groceries, rent. I set all that aside. Then I have
Nice.
like my own separate like
Yep.
go wild, whatever I want,
Fun. Yeah. Fun money.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's
That's the way to do it.
done wonders on me. So, another
Good.
piece of advice I to any of the younger ones out there. Um, but I want to also go into because outside of video games, you, as I said earlier, you're a big music fan.
Yes.
So going into your your Guitar Hero and Rock Band, what are some of your favorite songs that you got out of
Oh
that?
man. So yeah, music. I could speak probably more passionately about music than in games, even though games is literally my life. Yeah, music is. It's just so rewarding,
It is.
if you're into. Some people
Yeah.
don't care, and that's fine. But like for me, the way my brain, so we were just talking about like chasing the carrot. Again, the way my brain works is like it's so rewarding to like this band and wonder, I wonder who their influences were. So you go back and listen to them. You're like, oh, okay, I totally see it. And then like the influence tracking basically expands your library of knowledge in such an interesting way. Like it leads you down crazy rabbit holes of minute subgenres you're never aware of, bands you never heard of. Um, and I love understanding like where a band came from and like geographically and time-wise, but also literally like the influences. So like that is kind of what my dopamine cycle is with music.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously it has to be music I like too. There's
Yeah.
that should go without saying, but I should say that. So yes, so getting to work on Rock Band, getting to work at a place called like Harmonix. So Harmonix was a real interesting place. It was founded by these two dudes from MIT, but the MIT Media Lab, which is its own kind of famous thing, and their whole life was about combining technology and music, basically bringing the act of creating music to non-musicians was their whole mission statement with that company. They had a bunch of various products before, they hit it big with Guitar Hero and then Rock Band. Um, and so because of that, and because actually you'll know this because where you've lived, um, Harmonix was in Central Square, Cambridge, so directly between Harvard and MIT. Like
Really?
they're each one T stop away. So we had an amazing staff of just brilliant, brilliant people from both of those worlds, and uh, tons of people just from the Boston music scene who worked there. Not tech people, not brilliant, academic minds. So it was this real interesting stew of people, which for me at the time, like I said, because I'm as passionate or more about music, even though I was excited to get a job in games, like I was like, oh my God, you can play that thing without having to practice for five, like I was so
Yeah.
like I was obsessed with like our audio team because they were just like Boston music dudes. They, they um so yeah, it was such a fun place to work because if you're into that stuff, every day you were having debates. People love, the debating their favorite bands or music. Oh, those guys suck because this, that, and that. And it was never like in a hurtful way, but it was a fun. It's something I've never had since working there. Because whenever I try to get into that sort of conversation, people are like, "Man, lay off. What's your deal?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." I was trying to have a back and forth about music. Um, so yeah, then getting to work on Rock Band specifically, you're immersed in tons of great music and that was a fun part of working there is everyone would try to get their favorite songs into the game, try to convince the deciders, whoever would choose the soundtracks of each game or the weekly DLC we released, try to get your favorite music in the game. But man, my job after I was in QA, I was a senior tester there for Rock Band, the European version of Rock Band, which had its own soundtrack, by the way, and then Rock Band 2. Then I moved into Community, which Community I had no idea was a thing at that point in my life, but we had a community team, which this is 2009. So it was very forum centric. Twitter was just brand new. Um, so community was a lot of like hardcore forum moderation stuff, old school. But importantly, the community team was also basically the events team. So they would go around the world demoing Rock Band at um, game conventions, but also weird places like award shows because MTV owned Harmonix at this point, and they had endless money to throw at us, even though they didn't know what they were doing. they, they, we called it trash money because they had so much money and they would just throw it away, which was fun for us, but like it wasn't a good game publishing strategy.
Yeah.
But they would send us to red carpet events, like we're playing Rock Band on the red carpet for the movie awards or the VMAs and things like this, Sundance. Um, so we were literally like a plastic band. Like we traveled with our gear. It was five or six of us. So for me, I got to live kind of the band fantasy without being in
Yeah.
a real band. Um, it was just such a cool time of life, and at the time it felt like forever, but it was just a couple years that was really on top of the world and like this big cultural thing. Um, but man, it was such a cool time. And yeah, but I was gonna say because you're asking what were the songs that I liked. I was gonna say the flip side is because my job was demoing the game at these various places for many hours a day, many days in a row. Uh, it was a challenge for some of my favorite songs. So like massive Queen fan, love Queen my whole life. And I think it was Rock Band 3. We got Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, that is the Queen song, right? Man, I had to hear and play and sing Bohemian Rhapsody more times than I can possibly count. And I still won't say I don't like it, but it got me to the point where it's like
Yeah.
I cannot listen to the song again. Only now, it's been like what is it, 20, 15 years later. Now I'm starting to like allow myself. Like I was at karaoke the other day and I sang it with someone. I was like, okay, I'm over the I'm over the PTSD of having to do this. And there were a bunch of songs like that where it was just like because they were fan favorites, you'd have to
Yeah.
play them with players all the time. Bon Jovi was another one. Weezer was another like yeah, it was such an interesting time in my life.
It's funny you say that because like some musicians themselves can't stand the popular like Nirvana
Oh yeah.
despise Teen Spirit. Like
Yep.
you can go on YouTube and like look up a live concert and they're not giving it their all. You could tell, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
That's speaking of Nirvana, just a random side fact.
Mhm.
I just re-listened to In Utero the other day, and I gotta
So,
say, I feel like you know, Serve the Servants.
mhm.
That is not talked about enough. I
They
feel
have a
like it is
bunch of
not.
yeah,
There's
for
so many
sure.
good ones. I mean, I think Serve the
Yeah.
Servants, if you like Cobain never wanted anyone to look into his lyrics because, you know, obvious, but like when you listen to that song and you know, he's talking about, you know, that legendary divorce was such a like you that's that probably again, I'm not speaking for them, but you I feel like that's definitely probably his most personal one
Yeah.
is, you know, talking about because his parents' divorce is like what really
That's what drove a lot
set
of his
him, yeah.
creativity. Yeah,
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
but
Yeah, no,
what a
exactly. I think I mean, depending on the band maybe, but I think especially for someone more artistically minded like Kurt Cobain,
yeah.
when you're cursed with a hit, which sounds weird, some of them definitely try to
Try to, yeah.
try to be something else, right? It's like yes, sure I did that, but look at all this other stuff we did.
Yeah. And that's
So
and you
yeah, I
know
get
that's
it.
what's unfortunate for like a lot of people because I feel like for anyone like whatever the big hits are, I prefer like lesser known
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah, it's
because
definitely I was talking about music being rewarding, like when you're delving, it's a rewarding feeling when you go and it's that's actually usually even today where I'll start. I'll start with whatever. Someone exposes me to a newer band and it's whatever their popular song is at the moment. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I try to start with their first album because that's usually where you
yeah.
get the most pure essence of whatever
Yeah.
that band
Hmm.
is or
Yeah.
ever was. Like, not saying everyone's first album is the best, but it's the best way to get a sense for who the band thought they were going to be, who they wanted to be. And for sure, those are usually packed with great songs that never made it anywhere outside of that album, you know? And
Yeah.
oh man, Nirvana is definitely one of those cases too. Like all their
Yeah.
stuff is great, but yeah. Whew.
Yeah. Most of their best ones are the ones people like. God. School's more known. I don't even think they wrote School. I like School. I like Floyd the
Yeah,
Barber. Floyd the
nice.
Barber's pretty good. Uh, but
And
man, they
they're
have
a
so
great
many.
example of influences. An interesting and rewarding thing. Like listening to them, you end up listening to the Melvins, or for me, it was Daniel Johnston. So super weirdo. I don't know if you've ever. So
So,
Kurt wore famously wore a shirt from Daniel Johnston. What is which? I'm gonna Google it for you so I can tell you
I'm gonna look
the
it up
name of the
myself.
shirt. Um, so this dude, Daniel Johnston. Yes, it's the one where
Oh,
it says "Hi, how are you?" It's this weird
yeah.
little frog. Yeah,
That
yeah,
was MTV, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so something as simple as that led me, and I'm sure plenty of other people to look into it. And this dude, Daniel Johnston, is this guy in, I think, Austin, Texas in the 80s who just had one of those old-fashioned like cassette tape recorder things. You just have buy it at Radio Shack, nothing fancy. And he would record himself playing these songs he wrote on piano. And he's clearly also like essentially a kid when he's recording them. He has, almost like a kid's voice, but they're like really interesting, clever lyrics. They're catchy. Uh, and then then you want to learn more about the guy, and he has all sorts of psychological issues. I think he might have died just a couple of years ago. Um, and there's great documentary on the guy. So like that's just an example. I love that like little seed of something, and then you just
Yeah.
learn so much more. But at the same time, it's also you feel like you're connecting more with whoever it is. So in this case, Kurt Cobain, you're connecting more. It's like, oh, okay, so this influenced him. That's cool. Now I understand him better, a little bit better now.
And because of you, I'm now gonna look him up,
You
and
should. It is.
I'm sure I'll know one of his songs when I hear it. It's just the
It's
name. It's not.
you probably won't like that's a weird like he doesn't have hits or anything like and uh it's really like him and a piano and these scratchy recordings and it's just super interesting stuff. Super
Yeah.
interesting.
That specific shirt, that specific event. One more thing I want to know about Nirvana. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think that's the one where Kurt was trolling Axl Rose in the crowd. And it was like, our Dave was like, "Hey, Axl," as Chris Novoselic just throws his bass up to catch it and just knocks himself. I don't know if you ever heard that story, but I think it was
I've heard
that
the story
one.
of yeah of
Yeah.
him knocking himself out with his bass. Yeah, I didn't know the
Yeah.
Axl Rose part.
Yeah. You can
Yeah,
hear like Dave Grohl going, "Hey, Axel. Hey, Axel," something like that.
that's so
Yeah,
good.
man, they were great. And
Oh yeah, so here you go. Yeah, yeah. The Axl Rose connection. In 1992 at the MTV Video Music Awards, that's what you said. The feud between Nirvana and Guns N' Roses reached a climax. Cobain wore the Daniel Johnston shirt while openly criticizing Axl Rose, sexist, racist, homophobic. So there's another reason that Kurt Cobain was ahead of his time. Um,
Absolutely.
and he recalled in interviews patronizing him.
I feel like I see I love the way this is going because I feel like a lot of people are going to learn a lot of history from this. You're going to get like a
Yeah,
lot of lore out of this for people
yeah,
who
man.
don't know. Yeah, dude.
Love it.
And speaking of, I have to ask you because I see the guitars behind you. Do you
Mhm.
play?
I play very poorly. Yes. Basically, I can actually that informs also what I like too. Like I love punk stuff because it's so simple. Also
Yeah.
because I can play it. But that's basically as far as I ever progressed was just chords. I can't play lead stuff, but chords. And then I like to also collect instruments. Like you can see a mandolin over here. I try to
Yeah.
learn like one song on each instrument I get. But yeah, I play very poorly, so I've never allowed myself to buy a nice guitar. I always told myself like you can buy a really nice guitar once you're good, but
Yeah.
I never actually it's sort of like I was describing with trying to be a programmer. My brain never clicked with it enough that I could program without feeling wildly uncomfortable and wildly like out of my element. Music's a little less so because at least once you learn chords, all, people say it all the time, but it's true. All you need is to know three chords, and pretty much you can do 75% of any music of the last
Yeah.
20th century. Um, so it's pretty rewarding in terms of banging out, some of your favorite songs, acoustic as well, just like Bob Dylan stuff. Even though he'll do fancy chords, you can do basic versions of them and still be like, oh, cool. Okay, I'm actually singing and playing at the same time, and that's a really fun feeling too. So yeah, I recommend it, even if people are scared. It's not too tough. I can do it.
I used to play bass when I was
Nice,
way younger. Uh,
nice.
I was ne again, I was never clicked to me.
Yeah.
Um, I think also because I'm actually a lefty, but I played righty, and
Ooh,
I think that might have been
that's rough.
an issue. But I do have to say I was very good at Pretty Woman by Roy
Oh
Orbison.
hell yeah.
That was like one of the first ones I learned. I could not
That's
play it
awesome.
today, but there is a video of me like when I was young. I did like this little when I was younger, there was like a concert band camp thing,
Hell
and
yeah.
it's me playing Pretty Woman. And then there was Green Onions, I think it was called.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
By Booker
so
T and the MGs. Yep.
yeah, yep. So there are quite a few I did know, but
Oh, I
I
could go
couldn't play
deep
it
on
today.
Booker T and the MGs too, by the way.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so you've heard of Motown, obviously. I'm sure
Yeah.
everyone knows Motown. What a lot less people are aware of is Stax. So Stax at the time was same time period, early 60s. I think they started late 50s to, throughout the 60s. Um, but where Motown was in the Motor City, Detroit, Stax was in Memphis. And Stax was like, it was soul music, and it was Memphis artists and from around there. And basically Booker T and the MGs, that song you just described, Green Onions, famous song. If you don't know it by name, if you look it up, you'll definitely know it by
Yeah, you'll
tune.
hear it.
Um, they were the backing band for all of these artists. So like Otis Redding, his backing band was these guys. And all these other artists on Stax had them like they were just essentially the house band. And if you ever watch the Blues Brothers movie, which is also fantastic,
Yeah, oh yeah.
highly like that is such such a good movie for so many reasons. But on the music side of things, it's their band also, as the Blues Brothers band. It's the same dudes, um, and it's like they played on so many hit things. So it's like people might know them by name for a single hit, but they were behind all these other songs. And like when I say house band, they were really the ones writing the music for all of these great songs. But anyway, Stax is another one worth really dipping into because just super interesting. Actually, there was a docu-series just a couple years ago, 2024, I think, that went deep into it, and it was such an interesting thing for its time in Memphis in the South in the early 60s, and civil rights hadn't even popped off yet, and it was the company was integrated, like it was black. The band itself was black and white people working together in the Deep South during Jim Crow. It's really fascinating. And the music itself is just, I prefer it to Motown. Motown's like really highly polished and
Yeah.
produced, and Stax stuff is much more raw. So yeah, another gold mine of digging if you ever get the chance. If you're into
Oh,
that type
I
of
will.
music.
I will. So I'm already telling you, my dad's gonna listen to this 'cause he's big into music. He's gonna love you. He's gonna
Awesome.
love you. He's gonna really like this because he's so deep into the
Oh,
history
cool.
of music. He doesn't play, but he loves music. He every night like watch reaction videos to like the younger people
Yes.
listening to the Bee Gees, and
Yes. I
so
love
he
those too. Those are so
yeah.
good.
Yeah. You probably watch the same people then because he
Yeah, and
does
like
everyone.
reacting to Celine Dion, and like
Yeah.
you started off being like, "Oh, this is gonna be funny," and it's like, "Oh no, they are really appreciating like the artistry of Celine Dion." Holy shit! Yeah, yeah, I love that stuff.
Speaking of Celine Dion, t- 3 months ago, did some karaoke
Ooh,
and I got put with My Heart Will Go On.
yes.
So And that
And
is
did you go for
unfortunately on
it?
the internet. Oh yeah, it's unfortunately on the internet. I just don't. I just have not shared it publicly with anyone but it's on the internet. Someone can find it because it has like 2,000 views, unfortunately.
Oh,
But
amazing.
it's on the internet. But
Yes.
back in maybe like at the end of August, I did another. I like I go off with karaoke.
Yes,
I did.
same.
I did Kokomo by the Beach Boys. And I had
Hell yeah.
someone comes up to me. They're like, "Hey, so this is gonna sound really random, but would you like to be in a musical? We need background people."
What?
Like,
Wow.
so I was like, you know what? Why why not?
Did
Let's
you
hear
do
it.
it?
No, I didn't go through with
Ah,
it. I didn't go through
ah.
with it. I did take it seriously at first, but I got cold feet because I was like, A, like I can't like look at myself, but B, I have friends and family who will hold that against me for the rest of my life, so I
Like
couldn't do
community
it.
theater level
Uh,
musical type thing. Yeah.
yeah. But if you ever do, if anyone ever runs into me like at a karaoke place, that's your chance to see me do it. Kokomo's the go-to song. Love the
And
Beach Boys. That's another one I could
that's
go
my
into.
thing too, I'm not, even though I might be making you feel otherwise by, just the way we're socializing, I'm not a super social person. I think
Hey,
because
I'm not.
I put a lot into it as my job, right? Like I have to listen to people, I have to talk to
Yeah.
people. So in my personal life, I'm pretty closed off, but karaoke is the exception. Anytime karaoke is involved, though, that's the key to getting me to go out. Like if
Yeah.
people want to go out and drink, I'm like, no thanks. But if it's karaoke, I'm like, okay, I
You
could come
know,
for that.
the thing is like I'm gonna have like a lot of people in the comment section because this is mostly like I'll probably post this interview on like Twitter where I'm more known by like
Yep.
gaming like I'm not like big but people there's people who will like see this.
Hmm.
But this is like I'm only gonna like show this to, like friends and family, and everyone's gonna call me a hypocrite for doing this because
Oh,
A, I'm not a social person either. I'm more like, I hang back. I don't like to go out anymore.
yeah,
I hardly will. It's rare to get
yeah.
a hold of me to do that because and as I said, well, this wasn't said on video, but we were talking before how I stayed off social media in all of December. And let
Best
me
thing you
just
could do.
say, it was so life changing because I've left social media before, but it was like for taking care of personal reasons, like earlier on
Hmm.
in the year when before PAX.
Hmm.
But I took it off. I was on vacation. I took the whole December off, and when you don't go on social media, what I learned, you're not gonna hear anyone tell you what movie is good and what movie's bad. You're not
Yeah.
gonna have anyone tell you what game is good, what game is bad. You're not gonna like hear anyone complain like wrestling, like
Hmm.
you know, fuck Roman Reigns. He doesn't.
Right.
You're not gonna
Yeah.
hear that. And I was so tuned out from the world. I started to play games that people have said, for example, Star Wars Outlaws.
Hmm.
People said, people gave it, I played it before, but I never got into it because I was like so busy.
Hmm.
But I picked it up. I'm like, man, this is fun.
It's super good.
what's the problem here? I'm
It's
like,
super good.
it's an open world Star Wars game.
Yeah, it's the game any Star Wars fan dreamed of as a kid, probably.
Yeah,
And
and
like
I'm
it,
like,
yeah, it got a lot of shit that I felt wasn't fair. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, what's going on here? So I just I don't listen to the internet anymore, whether it's a movie, game, show, music,
Fantastic.
and it's the best thing anyone could do because you don't have to listen to anyone complain.
Hmm.
Oh my God, dude, Stranger Things, like hearing everyone in the final, which there was something I did feel things were rushed,
Uh-huh.
but you know, you got to move
Right?
forward. I feel like people just hold on to like people still hold on to the end of Game of Thrones, and they probably will
Oh,
for
oh
all eternity.
yeah.
And it's valid to be like again, I did not like the final season. Like it's
But it
valid,
didn't ruin your
but
life. Like
it
people
didn't.
talk
Yeah,
like it ruined their life.
yeah,
That's it. Is everything. So first off, I'm very glad for everything you just said. That's super healthy. And you're right. Like even if you're not consciously realizing it, you're constantly being bombarded with other people's opinions and
yeah.
positioned why they should be your own opinion. You know, you get you
Yeah.
like it's like here's why you're a bad person if this is not your opinion. Like that's usually
Yeah.
what it's couched in.
Yeah.
And so even if you're not consciously like, oh yeah, okay, I'll go with that, it gets in there a lot of the times. And like that's Twitter especially, it's geared
Yeah.
towards all of that. And like people can only talk in extremes because
Mm.
that's what gets engagement. Um, it's why content creators sometimes want to lean towards negative story versus just having fun with something because
Yeah.
it gets engagement. And it's so when you get a moment to step back like that, it's so affecting. You know, like I did the same
Mm.
thing at the same time as you, just because I was on a holiday break, a long break, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna check, not
Yeah,
gonna
this
check
is
social
best.
media. And it's pretty much actually all fall I've been doing that. I'll check in just for work stuff here and there. Maybe I'll post maybe once a week or so, and
Yeah.
even at that, it's just to like shit post with someone.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's a you feel less of this weight on you because
Mm.
it's just you're immersed in negativity whether you realize it or not because
Yeah.
those platforms just push it in your face all day.
Yeah. And
So
it's
yeah, it's great that you took that break.
yeah, and like I hardly check Twitter. Like, I'll log on time to time, keep up with, certain things. But it's just I don't know. And like the thing is, like when I post, I'd get negativity, but I don't. It never affected me because,
Yeah.
like, as Drew McIntyre said, he said this to me when I met him. He said, "People who send things on Twitter are virgins and have no life and don't have a job." So
I can
shout out to
picture Drew
Drew.
McIntyre. Yeah, I can picture
Shout
him
out to
saying
Drew
that
McIntyre.
when he's
So
like hulking over you.
he's nicest guy ever, though.
I believe it.
I'll go into that in a bit. But like when people like when people say something negative or whatever, like I ignore it because just like what you like that shows they're miserable. So I don't need to come up with a response. I'm not going
Yeah.
to engage with them. So like
Yep.
people, if I get like hate or anything, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me. I just
Good.
laugh it off. When I see it happen to other people that I know, then that's kind of when I get like, okay,
Yeah.
leave them the fuck alone.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I think, and if anyone's listening to this, the bet like the greatest piece of advice I can tell anyone, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, block out the hate. Don't engage with anyone who
Hmm.
tells you you can't do something, anyone, because it's just look, first of all, they're hiding behind a profile picture.
Yeah.
So just
And
don't let them get to you.
totally. And Stranger Things is a good example in that I was also offline while I was watching it. And as I watched it, I was like, oh, I'm sure people online have plenty of opinions about this, but I don't care what they are.
Yeah.
I'm entertained. The thing is wrapped up. You know what's funny about Stranger Things is I watched that as a dad because those kids grew up on that show. And speaking of people getting negativity where I get almost defensive for them, people are really awful towards the actors in terms of their acting ability. It's like they were
That's
hired
the
when they
yeah.
were 10.
Yeah.
Who's to say they were going to grow up to be a good actor or a bad actor? Like that they were
Yeah.
children when this show
Hmm.
started. Like lay off of them. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it's my own kids I need to protect.
I know. I 100% know what you mean by that because it's just again, it's not even just Stranger Things. Any actor, anyone out there, people will just like criticize, be like, this
Hmm.
person wasn't that good in the role. And it's just like, man, and I know people who like go off opinions of others. Because I've seen people
Oh,
like
totally.
have an opinion, but then they change it once like the internet kind of like goes with it. It's like just don't listen to the internet, man.
Yeah.
It's such a it's not the real world. It
Nope.
isn't. People just and it's same with WWE. Like I'm listening to everyone, and again, like I agree with frustrations with WWE, like 100%. Um, but at the same time, it's not going to affect your life.
Right.
Roman Reigns winning, CM Punk's going to kick his ass, but we're not going to go into that. It's not going to affect your life.
I know. It's that actually has been a recent thing. I have been on Reddit more. Like I have you've been using that, and it because it knows because everything has an algorithm now. It knows that I like WWE.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not following their subreddit or whatever, it still
It,
pushes the
yeah.
posts to me, and I see like the it's worse than gaming. Like that
Oh God, yeah.
that it's worse
It's
because
oh yeah.
there's a level there of there's the same like just irrational hate or rational hate, whatever, but hate. But then there's also just this level of misinformation or lack of information. It's like,
Yeah. People believe
what?
anything they see. And they'll be like
Seriously?
I it's like reporters saying Chris Jericho is going to return at the Rumble, you
All
know,
right.
saying stuff like that. It's just, and as Punk said about the Stranger Things earlier, he's like people believe what they see on the internet. They
Yeah.
have these false ideas in their head, and then when it doesn't happen, it's, you know. So
Hmm.
when I watch wrestling, I don't follow the internet anymore. I watch it like it's a sport, you know.
Yeah.
It's like football, you know.
Yep.
I'm on cloud nine because Patriots are in the Super Bowl. CM Punk is likely going to main event Mania again. So
Yeah.
like two of my two of
Right?
my two of my teams are there. So I have nothing to complain about.
Right?
But
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I I like watching it, obviously just from a spectacle angle, like because nowadays matches are just so good. Like just
yeah,
the moves people are doing and the kind of, the storytelling they do through each match. I
yeah,
love kind of watching it from that to appreciate the craft of it. But I also love the more meta bit of watching, like because well, especially now that the Unreal show is out there, like there's writers behind the scenes who have
yeah.
crafted these storylines for months and months and months and months. Uh, you can put yourself in their shoes and to see one of the storylines land the way they want it to land. Like I love seeing that. Um, it's just so many people
Yeah.
put so much work into these things. I just like seeing when they are a success.
And speaking of like people putting work like with everything WWE, it's like movies and games. There's so many people who put so much hard work into
Yeah,
stuff. So if a movie doesn't necessarily do well, like there's still good that came out of it. So like if
totally.
I watch like a movie, I'm trying to think of one like out of mind that didn't do. All right, this is actually a good example. This is going to be controversial. I
That's how we get
finally
engagement. Perfect.
I finally recently sat down and watched Joker 2.
Oh, okay. I actually haven't even watched that one. To your
So
point, the way you're describing it, it was like, finally, yeah, I've
so
been putting it off.
so do I think it's a good movie? No. Do I think it's a bad movie? There were really good things that came out of it.
Yeah,
Phoenix is an unbelievable actor. Lady Gaga is phenomenal. I love Lady Gaga. I think
yeah,
she's one
she's
of the most
amazing.
talented people on this earth. It had two very good performances. Even some of the musical stuff, I actually did not think was going to be as terrible. There's actually two really good ones that I actually listened to. One where Gaga sang "Close to You."
Mm,
They long to be close to you. And then there's another one of where Phoenix sang "The Joker is me." And
okay.
I thought those were good. Now the ending of the movie, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm sure you probably heard about it. The ending is makes me upset, but this is what I tell myself. Did you see the first one?
Yes.
So you know how in the first one it was kind of like set where you're not supposed to know what's real and not. He had the
Mm,
imaginary girlfriend, then he like in the beginning of the movie he like imagined himself with Murray.
mhm.
The way I view Joker 2, and if you go ahead and watch it, I this is my personal take on Joker 2. It is the Joker telling the story to be the Joker and piss people off. That's the point.
Like it's a
You're
meta
not
narrative sort of thing.
Yeah, you're not supposed. It's not like Joker's has no backstory. Like
Right.
that's the point of the Joker. So this is just a story of him telling. That's how I view Joker too. So if you ever go ahead and watch that,
That's
put
a good
that in
lens.
put that in your head, and you might enjoy the movie now.
That's a good lens
So
to look at it through. That's cool.
yeah,
I love that stuff too. The
yeah,
unreliable narrator is always such a good mechanic.
yeah,
Not obvious if you're not kind of thinking about it or if
yeah,
someone's queued you up in advance. That's cool. Now I kind of
yeah.
want to watch it.
Yeah, no, if you do, just go with that mindset, and I promise you, you won't. And don't look at the internet. I mean, again, I don't think it's a good movie. Like
Mhm.
it's not like you're watching The Dark Knight,
Yeah. I mean
but
that not much is.
not much is. But you know, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And I guess that's
That's
good enough. So
and I
people
think
hated
that
it, but
yeah, I think there's a lot in the world of 6 out of 10s. There's a lot of breadth there because
yeah,
that's where people are trying things to like they're definitely trying things with Joker too, right? Like,
yeah.
hey, let's take this mega hit and make it a musical all of a sudden. Like
I
that's
can't wait to see the comment section here.
uh but I was gonna say you mentioned Lady Gaga. There was a she had a Boston connection. So when I was doing the comedy stuff that I told you, like before I got into games, uh, we would always go out to this one bar after shows, and it was in Cambridge, not Boston. But if you're from, just say Boston. And so the bar is called Bukowski's, and this was before, or just as she was starting to make a name for herself. Like that was, she would go there. Like I don't know why
Wow.
she was in Boston because she's not from, but she would go there and hang out with her friends at Bukowski's, and it's like it was the sort of thing people would whisper about because, like I said, she was just starting to
It's
be a
just
thing,
starting.
a name. And I always thought that was super cool. And actually, we were on a press tour for the Beatles rock band in
You worked on
2009.
that? Did you work
Oh
on that
yeah,
one?
oh
Dude,
yeah.
that, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. That game on the Wii was my absolute favorite game on earth, dude.
Hell yeah,
Beatles is another whole world I can go into
yeah,
with
yeah,
you,
yeah.
but the Beatles rock band
Yep.
was unbelievable. However, paying how much money to get Your Majesty only for a 30-second song, that was something else. But other than that,
You're supposed to buy it as the pack, you know? It comes with the pack. Uh, yeah, dude, oh man. But that speaking of that being a great time in my life, the Beatles rock band period was mind-blowing. Let me finish my story, but this is not even a good story. But we were on a press tour for the Beatles rock band, and again, the trash money of MTV sent us all over Europe. So we were in Munich, Germany, at this crazy, fancy, weird hotel, and she was staying at the same hotel, and it was like we were in the same cafe together or bar together. It's just so cool. But anyway, see, I told you it wasn't a good story.
no,
The Beatles rock band.
I like that because I'm gonna go there now. Next time
Should
I'm there.
the Beatles rock band. So Beatles were kind of the first band I ever got into as a band. Uh, Pretty young. I think seventh grade. I was really. That's where I went deep. And so working on it was obviously something special, and it was something special for everyone at Harmonix. Like everyone, talk about putting your heart into something. Like that whole team put their heart into that. And one of the things I got to do, because I was privileged to be the team that had to go and demo it everywhere, and it was actually that same press tour. Aha, okay, this is connecting to the Lady Gaga. Same press tour. So we're in Europe. We were in London, and we did 2 full days in Abbey Road Studios with Game
Really?
Informer magazine. They were doing like a story or whatever. So we are in Studio 2 of uh, Abbey Road Studios, where they recorded 90% of their stuff, uh, and were playing their songs in the room where it was recorded. And it was such a surreal, unbelievable thing. Like, because, you remember from part of the thing with Beatles Rock Band was they had given us all this sort of like studio chatter
Yeah.
that they would do between takes and stuff, and that
Hmm.
was in the game. So the studio chatter is like we had these amazing speakers like blowing out of the speakers in this giant empty studio, and it was like they were there. It was so crazy. And as a Beatles fan, getting to spend 2 days, like even just you go to the bathroom, it's like I'm using the bathroom where John Lennon probably did. It's just like, um, so cool. And you'd walk through the hallway, and like one of their engineers would be like, because I don't know if they were renovating or something at the time, but you walk through the hallway and there was this mixing board just out. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the 4 track that we did Sergeant Pepper's on." I was like, "It's just laying here in the hallway. What's happening?" It was so cool. Um, yeah, what an amazing project that was. And that was where the Rock Band fad, I guess, had already ended. So in our mind, we did Rock Band, yeah, massive. Well, first off, Guitar Hero, massive cultural thing. Rock Band, oh, against all odds, it's huge again. Same company. Rock Band 2 did great. And then Beatles Rock Band, and it should have kept going up because, oh my God, they got the Beatles. And that's where we started to see like, oh, okay, this is the end of this trend. It definitely did not go up from where we were. And then, Rock Band 3 a couple of years later also did, like it went into pretty steep decline, which was such a sad feeling because that could have, in my mind, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is my life. This is my life. We're gonna be doing this. So cool. And yeah, it was the beginning, unfortunately, of the change for that period. But it was an amazing project to work on.
You have the coolest life ever, dude. I swear. I now understand because I remember when I was visiting you guys in Montreal, when I was having dinner with Dork and everyone,
Mm,
Omnia, all awesome people, by the way. Tell them I say hello.
I will.
I remember one of them mentioned, "Oh, new Eric Pope lore learned." So I'm always hearing about this Eric Pope lore, and now I'm getting the full experience here.
Yeah, I try to sprinkle it out once in a while. But yeah, man, it such an amazing thing, and got to meet Giles Martin, George Martin's son. I actually got to meet George too.
Are you
I didn't get
serious?
my coworkers got to meet Paul and Ringo. I did not.
Oh my God.
Um, I got to meet Olivia Harrison, George Harrison's wife. Oh, and Danny, his son, who's amazing. Actually, Danny is a big part of working with the game. But
Dude,
so
what
so
kind
our
of
creative
life do you live? Like,
our creative director of that game, part of his job was he had to go to George Harrison's estate. It's called Friar Park, which actually I was just reading about this last night. Weirdly, this separate thing, his house, and he spent like a week going through his archives of photos, and he could choose like, oh, we want this photo to put into the game, things like that. And while he was there, I was like, please, if you can get anything for me, please, which I don't usually do, but I was like, you're gonna be at George Harrison's house,
it's a
and
once in a lifetime thing. Yeah.
yeah. And his wife, who's amazing, Olivia, gave him a whole bunch of traveling Wilsbury merch that never sold, like back from the 80s. And I got a traveling Wilburys scarf from George
Do you
Harrison's
really?
house. Yeah.
Dude,
I was like,
that's
yeah.
dude, that is dude, I can't even believe like first of all, as I mentioned earlier, like my dad's gonna love this. Dude, my dad's gonna explode listening to this because he is like massive, massive beat. Like that's probably Beatles and Rolling Stones are like his too. And same with me. I love, but oh my God, dude. Like, and you mentioning Danny Harrison, like he looks just like George, first of all.
Oh
My
yeah.
dad's always just like
He
talks about
absolutely
that.
does. Yes.
So, dude,
Yep.
like it
Yoko came
blows
to
my
our
mind.
offices.
Did she
Yoko
really?
came, yeah, and she like wasn't just like a press that she came and like gave the art because she's an artist. She gave the art team feedback on the model that they had for John, and they're like, he looks too nice. You need to make him look cockier." It's like, all right, it's from his wife. We got to do it. That was amazing. Yeah,
Dude.
just random because I didn't know that was happening. I was just turning a corner in the office and you see Yoko. Oh no, you're like, what is happening? Yeah, amazing.
It's funny because I have written down and like one of the things was like some of your experiences like travel events, meeting
Mhm.
someone memorable. Dude, I think I've learned so much from you out of this. Dude, I'm jealous. That is insane. You have such an insane life, dude. That
I've
is
been super
awesome.
lucky. I've lucked
Yeah.
into a lot of things. Uh, Conan O'Brien is actually right up there with me on alongside the Beatles because, like I said, I have a comedy background and I love comedy as much as the other things, and also Boston Connection. So like Conan was a huge part of my life. And then when I did this game at Ubisoft for Honor. Um, Part of our launch promotion, was doing the Clueless Gamer segment that
Yeah,
he did. I don't know if he
those are
still does it.
incredible. I think he did something. I think he did Silent Hill remake. I could be wrong. It was something. He did something like not
Okay.
too long ago.
And so it wasn't just that. So okay, so they flew me out to LA to Paramount Studios. So I got that experience of just being like the you always see it in the movies, right? The sound stages everywhere, and I got to be on this studio lot in their office because I'm just setting up like a fucking video game. But I'm in the offices where I could see his office and Conan's office, and then we showed them what the game is, and like okay, so we set up what the actual recording would be. Now the recording was on Super Bowl Sunday Eve, 2017. So it was the day before the Super Bowl.
Was that Patriots
Conan,
Falcons?
yes.
Yep.
So Conan was playing, but it wasn't just Conan playing the game. It was Conan and the fucking Patriots. Like Tom Brady was
Oh,
there.
Gronk. Yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't
Gronk
Gronk?
was there. Like it was a mind blow. And I was in the room because I had to be there to like get the game set up or if they had questions and stuff. And like I'm sitting there, Conan comes in and I showed him how to play, which by the way, we had a PR guy. It's like, whatever you don't talk to him, don't look at him, don't get him sick because they thought that I was gonna get him sick. And then as soon as he came in, he like looked at me, he's like, "Hey, I'm Conan," and he like engaged with me. So I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing it." And then I just sat back as they were recording the thing, and yeah, Tom Brady walks in, which is like New England royalty at the time. I guess still is.
Oh
And
yeah,
then yeah, all the rest of
forever.
them, and they just recorded all these goofy bits playing the game, and I just got to sit there and watch them work and like hang out. And dude, it was so weird. It was
Yeah.
weird because, like, in any other case, being in the room with the fucking Patriots on Super Bowl Sunday would be the story. But for me, it was like, oh, I'm here with Conan. Oh, and now the Patriots are here. Unbelievable weird thing. Another weird thing that I lucked into. So that's a lot of my life is lucking
That's
into weird
insane.
things. Yeah.
My dad actually worked an event with Conan. Actually, fun fact,
Nice.
there was like a charity baseball event. I think this was like
Nice.
right in the beginning of Conan's career too.
Okay.
It was like a celebrity baseball event. I think, do you know Doc Rivers? I think he was
Hmm.
a basketball player. So yeah, so like Doc
Yep.
Rivers was there. I have like a whole poster signed by like everyone
That's
in
so
from that
cool.
thing. I'll have to send you a picture of that. I'll actually edit the picture on here too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he worked with Conan right before and just said larger than life. He's got like the personality that just
He's
like
never
evokes.
off.
Yeah, he's
He's
never off.
on, like even
Yeah.
before, we're recording, he was just always on. He was trying to crack up the crew the whole time, whether they were recording or not. It was so interesting to watch. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't turn off.
Yeah, I love Conan. He was
Yeah.
such a good host. He
Yeah.
does a
Yeah.
podcast now too. I listen to that sometimes, but I haven't
It's
seen
good.
much. He had
It's
Harrison
good.
Ford. I think that was the last one I listened to. Was Harrison
It's
Ford.
become my commute listening. Commute to the office is roughly 45 minutes, an hour. Traffic's bad, so it's perfect for an episode of that. And
Yeah,
it's like
that's good.
it's good. It's good.
Dude, what a life you have, man. But I'm saying that, but like
I've been super lucky.
I myself am super lucky. I
Yeah, I
mean,
know you've got some good
as we were
stories.
as we were just talking about, had dinner with Drew McIntyre because he inducted my dad into the Hall of Fame,
So you
and
got to see
like
Drew eat?
I got to see Drew eat. I got to
Hell
see him
yeah.
drink. There's no alcohol though,
Was
but
he, as an eater, was he like just like a refined diner, or was he just going crazy at it? I gotta know.
um, I see. I didn't really pay attention
Oh,
to,
okay.
but I
These are the
mean,
details I get interested in.
there's see. So this is how it went. I had no idea he was going to be there. I get to the event. I see a WWE table set up. I'm like, okay, that's normal because WWE they got along. I did not expect. I thought it was just going to be like someone like Stephanie
Hmm.
inducting them, which would have been cool. But I've met
Hmm.
Stephanie so many times before.
Nice.
Um, but my girlfriend arrives, so I go outside to get her. It's pouring rain out. We come in, we're like in the office, like the main lobby, and we're sitting there talking for a bit before we go in, and then all of a sudden, this large giant walks in, and I'm like, babe, I
Carrying a
think that
sword.
I'm like, I wish. I'm like, babe, I think that's Drew McIntyre. She's like, who? I was like, he's a wrestler. I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to him. And she's like, don't bother. I'm like, hey, Drew, how you doing? Comes up to both of us. He's like, hey, how you guys doing? Shakes my hand, shakes her hand. She's like, how's everyone doing today? I'm like,
Nice.
I was like, stories are true. He is a great guy. So they send him like upstairs to like get ready for whatever. I go to my table. Like this is my table, and then there's a table like right next to me. Drew is in the seat, like at that table.
Hmm.
And, I'm sitting down. He looks at me. He's like, good to see you again. How's everything? I was like, good. So I like talking to him. I was like, yeah, I'm Bo's son, by the way. And he's like, oh, because he's worked with my dad.
Oh, okay,
Um,
awesome.
they did an event a couple years ago in Florida. It was like opening ceremonies, opening games. He was with Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. Dude, my dad meets all these
That's
people that
amazing.
like pisses me off that I was there because dude, but he's with them. He has like a group photo with all of them. So like I'm talking to Drew, so he says like, oh yeah, your father's a great man. What a great thing he has done. And if you're looking him up, his name is. I'm gonna censor that
All
so
right.
because I don't want anyone stalking him, but search and
Okay,
you'll see
perfect.
him. And if you want search WWE, and then
Hell
that's
yeah.
then you'll see the pictures. But
That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, I met Drew, I met Stephanie, I met Cena.
So, do you want to know why
Dude,
I asked the way he eats?
why, why?
So, another harmonic story. So this was the thing, by the way, Rock Band, because it was popular with a lot of people and it was expensive. You had to get all the gear, and it was a good in because people always wanted a freebie. So it was a good in for us to like go places, meet people, and hook them up.
Yeah.
Like anyway, we did. WWE was in town in Boston. We invited Seth Rollins to come to the studio. Now this was 2014, I believe. So a while back, right? But still, he was already
Yeah.
a,
Was
a
this when he
known quantity.
was this when he betrayed the Shield or right before that?
That's a great question. Someone's gonna have to look that up. 2014, Seth Rollins. Um, but we just brought him to the office. He showed up by himself, just a normal dude. And the reason the connection here is he there was a Chipotle next to the office. He came with a Chipotle burrito bowl because he hadn't eaten yet. And we're like, no worries, no worries. Because where we were playing the game was right next to our cafeteria. And he sat there and ate this burrito bowl. And it was the most like beastly thing I've ever seen. Just like so intense eating this burrito, this healthy looking burrito bowl. And it was just like he inhaled it. It was like it's stuff going everywhere. It was crazy. And so that's why now when I think of meeting wrestlers, I need to see like, I wonder how they eat food. So yeah, you're right. That was definitely during his Shield. Oh, June 2nd is when he attacked the Shield brothers, Roman and Dean. Damn, was that in Boston?
It might have been actually. Was it at TD? Might have been. Yeah, it might have been at TD.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think what the connection there was, not that we just had this direct hookup with Seth Rollins. We were connected with a referee from Ring of Honor, because we would get this guy to come referee our video game wrestling show that we would do at PAX. And he's like, "Oh, I know Seth. You want me to bring him to the office?" And like, it was that's how these things happen. It's so
That's
crazy.
awesome. I know. I mean, dude, that's the great thing about having those connections, though. I like for me, I like being the guy who knows the people rather than being the person people know.
Yeah.
I could never see. When I was younger, I wanted to be an actor.
Mm,
I could never handle that. I've considered voice acting work, but if I ever did something, I'd want to be like just a miscellaneous like background. Or if I ever did acting, I want to be like in the background. They actually filmed a Walking Dead spinoff in Boston uh this past year, the Negan spinoff. And
Uh-huh.
I applied to be a walker, but I never got anything back. But I'm like, man, that's just my dream.
That
I
would have been
wanna,
so cool.
I wanna get killed. Like that's my if I were ever an extra on like something like Walking Dead, I would that's what I would want to do. I would want to be a walker that gets like their head
Yes.
smashed by like Negan or someone. That would be so fun.
6 hours of makeup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be cool.
Yeah. If I mean, all these spin-offs are never ending, so I'm sure they'll be back next year.
So let me ask you, where did the Walking Dead fandom come from with you
Oh, okay.
to the point where you became this character essentially on Twitter, replying to every one of our posts, please bring please bring Rick to from The Walking Dead to Dead by Daylight. How did this happen?
Oh man, all right, we're switching roles here.
Yeah, I gotta
Okay.
know.
All right. So it was probably when season 3 was probably 2013. I just got into Walking Dead before season 3. And I just thought it was special, you know, like especially the early seasons. Oh my
Oh, yeah,
God,
for
the
sure.
early seasons were just something. Um, you know, with me in school, I was never the person who was like outgoing, socializing. I was more of just like the nerd who wanted to sit down and like watch movies and shows.
Yep.
And I had like this weird thing where I liked apocalyptic stuff, kind of
Hmm.
like post,
Hmm.
because I liked the character, like how it brings out characters. So I watch Walking Dead and I just instantly fall in love with the world. I thought, especially Frank Darabont's version
Oh,
in
I know,
season
right?
one,
I was so
the
into it.
the
Yeah.
opening episode, just Rick waking up in the hospital, gave like 28 days later vibes.
Hmm.
And I was just like, this is, I don't know, special. I thought Andrew Lincoln was fantastic. I loved just the whole cast. I loved
And
Carol,
I was, by the
Glenn.
way, I was like, when they announced that Frank Darabont was no longer working, I was like, well, it's over. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And of course it was. They killed it. But
Yeah,
in my
they
mind, I was
did.
like, how
Yeah.
can they possibly do it without him? And they did. And
Yeah.
it was so
So
great.
it was, I loved I loved the characters. And by the time you get to season 3, that's when your heart starts to get ripped out. Because that's when they start to like, at the end of season 2, they kill Shane and Dale. Then season 3, like 4 episodes in, they kill Lori and T-Dog. And you're like, you're
Right.
starting to understand what the show is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this is just awesome. So I started reading the comics, superior to the show, by the way. And I don't know, I loved it. And I even after season 7, I still liked it, but nothing tops season 1 through 6.
Yep.
And then
It
I
was
fall in
so
love
good.
with a little game called Dead by Daylight, which has everything I love. And I'm like, where's Rick Grimes?
Hmm.
I'm like, this is like the ultimate survivor. Like this is like if anyone got put in the fog, like Rick is the one, you'd want to lead you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it just bothered me a little. Like I was just like, okay, I'm seeing Walking Dead collab with every game but Dead by Daylight. I think I need to take matters into my own hands. So I just, without anyone who knows me knowing, I just created this little Twitter account where I'd just be spamming you guys. Hey, add Rick Grimes to Dead by Daylight. Then there was so many cool people who like supported it and DM me and they're like, dude, this is awesome. Can we be a part of this? I'm like, yeah,
Nice.
let's. So it just became like this whole thing where like all these people just started spamming you, and I'm so sorry for that.
No, but so that here's my thing is that we love that. Like, because it wasn't spam, it was
Yeah.
reliable. We could rely on you that you would reply to most things. But it
Yeah.
was like first of all, it was like we said earlier, like it wasn't you weren't negative, you weren't hateful, like, it was all in good fun, and that
Yeah.
I love those sort of things because that's where organic stuff takes off in gaming communities, where it's just like when I, when I was on Rock Band, we had a guy in our community whose name was Hogan 2000. And This is in the forum days, right? So, and he did every single post in the character of Hulk Hogan. Like everything would be like something, 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 brother, or like that's how he would type, and it was all caps, I think, too. And so he posted everything in this for no like. There was no reason to do this. Like this wasn't. There's no Hulk Hogan in Rock Band, but this was just his thing, and it just became this part of our community. It got weird. It got weird at the end because he faked
Yeah.
his death. He faked his death. We found out he
Uh,
wasn't dead, and then we found out. I think he was a kid. Oh no, there's a different guy who. Sorry, that's a different story of a guy who always he posted as if he was a retiree in his 60s, and then we found out he was a kid
a
like
kid.
3 years later.
Did
It's
you
like,
did you guys think I was a kid doing that? Because everyone is like, get a job. I did that all on the clock too, which made it even funnier.
no, I mean I think we try to assume that people that talk to us are of age because it's a mature game, but
Mm.
you know.
I mean, like I didn't even like expect it to like blow up. Just when other people like joined, I felt kind of like this sense of responsibility because I'd have other 4DBD accounts message me and be like, "Hey, you inspired me to do this." And I was like, "Oh, I mean that is awesome. I mean,
hmm
I'm happy to have inspired this movement." I always tell people, well, there used to be a whole group chat I was in. Um, but I'd always tell people, I was like, just do it respectfully. Don't
Yeah.
personally at the devs. Don't, I did it sometimes, but it was for good reason, having
hmm
Chandler Riggs call you out. But it was just, I don't know. It was a fun time. I love doing it. I feel like some people are like, you wasted your time doing this. I
No
did all that
way.
on the clock. That was the most fun like era of my life because I'm reading all like these people like saying get a life, Rick's never gonna come to Dead by Daylight. And I'm just having a blast with it. So I don't know,
And
it's just
you know what? Something I haven't thought deeply about, but just by nature of you replying to so many of our tweets, for example, actually probably did keep this in fresh in many people's minds because our tweets
yeah.
reach lots and lots and lots of people, hundreds of thousands of people generally, and if you're one of the first replies people see, again, the subconscious thing is like, yeah, Rick Grimes should be in DVD, like
Yeah.
so I'm sure you actually did kind of keep it in people's like top of mind for people. Like we knew from surveys that it was highly requested.
Yeah.
But I think by you keeping the flame lit, uh, in your own way, I'm sure you kept it you actually spread it a lot amongst
Yeah.
various people watching our accounts.
I mean, once I made it on Schmuckles, I knew it was a big thing. But I mean, I
You
think
can retire then, yeah.
yeah, it really did show something to me though. Like I know we're like talking about how social media can be toxic. It showed a really good side of things because there's so many creative
hmm
people out there. I don't know if you ever see BioShock for DVD.
Uh,
Awesome, awesome account. So many good
yes, yes, yes.
concepts. They have so
Yes.
many good.
Are they the ones that do the art?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe they make the art. Yeah, there's just so many talented people, and there's just so many good people. Like, I had Polyester DM me out of nowhere once and just like say, "Hey, congratulations on all this." And like, Polyester is like the nicest guy you could ever
He's
talk
so
to. I
nice.
think
He's
Paul, like,
super nice.
we like everyone needs to aspire to be like Polly. I mean,
Yep.
he's just messaged me, just sent nothing but kindness and just such a good guy. And there's so many
He's
great
great and
people.
he's cultivated a great community
Yeah,
too, which
yeah.
is really special, which isn't always the case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome. King is awesome. I love King. Just so many. There's so many people. There's so many content creators that I watch and I'm a fan of, but they probably don't even know that because I'll have like some streams on during work and like their videos. Polly's tinfoil hat talks are like essential to my routine. So
And we started talking about how negative and toxic and vile Twitter has become. I'm not talking about DBD Twitter, just Twitter in general since the
yeah,
muskening. It makes me upset for a lot of reasons, but what you just described, that used to be much more common. Like
yeah.
I loved Twitter. Twitter was my life, which is as sad as that. Like I had so many friends from Twitter. I we had so many funny interesting moments on Twitter just because of the nature, like friends doing fun stuff together. Um, and all that went away, and now it's just
Mhm.
this hate factory.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just yeah, it's
but that's the thing. I'm so glad you got to see that corner of it. It used to be a
yeah.
lot more like that, and it's nice to see that it still can happen,
Yeah,
just more rare.
there's still positive gems
Hmm.
on that app.
Yep.
And I mean, I loved what I did. I mean, I wish I could keep up with making content. Something I'm still trying to do. I finally reached affiliate on Twitch, but I'm just so busy. I don't know
Oh,
how
nice.
people do it. I don't know how people do it. It's the building a community.
It's such a
I
grind.
want
Yeah.
to. It's just it's hard, especially with my schedule now. Like last year, I mainly got to do my tweets because I worked mobile, but now I'm like hands-on doing all this different stuff going out. I'm
Yeah.
like it's hard, but I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the thing I think I have never wanted to be because I've worked with content creators my whole career. I've never wanted that to be my life because I've seen how hard they work. Because it's
yeah,
like there's no breaks. Or even when
yeah,
you do a break, this also kind of breaks my heart. Like if your favorite content creator gets sick and they can't stream that day, they always feel like they have to post an apology. It's like, dude, it's your
yeah,
don't apologize. You're sick. What you don't owe them anything. But I guess in a way you do because like they're the
yeah.
ones
I
funding your life at some point. So
I
yeah, I
did
could
that.
never
Yeah.
do it.
I
I could
did
never
that
do it.
too because I made a poly dance. Like I didn't see myself as like, but I had that group chat and I had like other like 4DBD accounts like come to me for advice and stuff.
Mm.
So like I felt like, oh, maybe I should just make this post and be like, hey, I'm taking care of a because this was before PAX.
Yep.
And then of course next day you guys put the ones
I know
who
your
live in there,
timing
and
was
I'm
so
like,
bad.
I'm like, I'm like, well,
I
I
know that was so funny.
I'm so happy about that though because I needed that. I needed that. That was
Good. Good.
phenomenal. And then I'm just beyond grateful to all of you for inviting me over in the summer and just so awesome. That see keeping I don't know what was worse, keeping my identity that Rick Grimes because
Mm,
none of my friends or family knew that was me,
mm.
or keeping it that I'm going to see you guys because
It was a
that
really
was
quick
like
turnaround too, right?
yeah.
Wasn't it just like a week or two before was when we
Yeah.
reached out to
Yeah,
you?
it was during SummerSlam. Omnia
Right.
messaged me. It was like right the day before, day of SummerSlam. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like saying this. I'm like, oh, I have to lie to people. I'm like, oh, I just want tickets to Disney, then a cruise after. It was like some bundle. So I'm like lying. I go off social media. I'm lying to everyone. And like, I felt horrible to the people I had to lie to. Because like when
Yeah.
I sign an NDA, I'm not messing around. So I think
Respect.
the only person like I didn't say Disney to, I told my girlfriend I was going on a work trip.
Mhm.
And like it was just an important work trip, and I can't talk about it because it's like NDA. And then I'm expecting her to be pissed off when like she sees me with like Chandler and everything. Like I thought she was gonna be mad about the whole thing. Dude,
Mhm.
she was more mad that I started a movement for Rick instead of Glenn. She was
Hey,
more mad about that. I'm like,
we could use that now. We need that movement.
there, there are some Glenn accounts out there.
That's
They're
true.
doing the job for her. That's
That's so
another
funny.
thing. Whenever there was like another 4DBD account, there would like be people be like, "Hey, is this you?" I'm like, "I'm never doing that again. I am never doing that again."
Oh man. Yeah, that would be talk about a grind. That would become a grind.
Yeah, no, it was unfortunately I'm now in my busy era, so
Yep, it happens. It happens.
but anyways, dude, I kept you here longer than an hour. I apologize for that. I'm just
It's
seeing the
all good.
time.
I had a delightful time.
Dude, thank you so much. To wrap this up,
Mhm.
because this is one important question I had to ask you. I won't ask you to go into details on it. And I'm sorry for throwing you on the spot, but I need to know your Mount Rushmore movies.
Of movies,
Yeah.
so hands down, my favorite movie, which is such a hard thing to do, but for some reason this is always stuck in my head as my favorite, is a movie called Brazil. I don't know if you've seen it.
I
Brazil is from
have
the
not.
80s.
I'm
Terry
gonna write it
Gilliam.
down.
Terry Gilliam's an amazing director. He's less He's doing a lot less these days, but he did 12 Monkeys. He did Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Just a great visual style. He was a member of Monty Python. So he did this movie in the 80s called Brazil. It has nothing to do with Brazil. It's complicated why it's called Brazil. Uh, and it's about actually, yes, because so it's not apocalyptic, but it's dystopian. I was gonna say because you like you like apoc. It's not apocalyptic, but it's this dystopian world. It's very 1984 Brave New World, but very funny. Like there's a lot of very dark humor in it because there's the Monty Python background. One Michael Palin from Monty Python is actually in it in one of the side roles. Robert De Niro is in it, which
Really?
is fascinating. I don't know how they landed De Niro for it, but it is just it's about bureaucracy. It's about controlling information. There's actually, I was just thinking about it this week because I haven't watched it in a while. There's stuff that's going on that is happens in the movie, and you're like, basically, it's about like this I don't know if you know 1984, but that's it's very much like that, but a kind of almost a satire, and it follows this one dude who kind of starts to break out of the shell of like the corporate life, and it's just so good and so fully realized, like the visually, like there's tubes and ducts everywhere, like it looks like its own world. Um, it's super, super neat. So that's my favorite by far. I do recommend checking it out.
I just wrote it down. I'm gonna watch that tonight, probably.
Watch the Criterion version because there for a while, I don't know if it's out there anymore, but for a while the version that would be on broadcast or like standard release, it has a happy ending, which the movie should not have, and it doesn't have if you watch
Oh,
the
okay.
Criterion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dark, but it's my type of dark. So anyway, Brazil. So that's number one for sure. So I guess if we're talking Mount Rushmore, that's the George Washington. Um, is he even on Mount Rushmore? Yeah, he should be.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
Let's
so.
not
Yeah,
let's not
I
test my
think
knowledge of that.
so.
But so yeah, that dang. So man, this one I could think about for a long time. Goodfellas probably would be on there. That is that's one of those movies that without it you wouldn't
Yeah.
have a whole genre essentially. So good.
I'm a massive Joe Pesci fan, by the way. One of
Yes.
my all-time, I'd put him Mount Rushmore actors for me.
Yes.
Love Joe Pesci.
Um, Terry Gilliam was my favorite is well, it's been a while, but he was my favorite director. So like anything he made after Brazil, I was just super into. So um I won't put it on Mount Rushmore, but 12 Monkeys, if you haven't seen it, definitely check that out.
I've heard of it, have not seen it. Writing it down. 12.
Um, oh man, this is like when I go to karaoke where I freeze up because I want to
Yeah.
do so many songs and I can't
Yeah.
think of what to give. But oh boy, The Thing is
The
definitely
thing.
on there.
Yep.
That is definitely on my Mount
Yep.
Rushmore. Yeah.
John
Uh,
Carpenter, man.
Carpenter is
He's just,
unbelievable.
yeah. Did you
He's
read the
one.
book?
No,
Because it was
is it
originally a
good?
book, right? I have not, no, but I've heard it was really good.
It was also a film in the 50s, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's been remade a few times. But yeah, the Kurt Russell thing, John Carpenter, is so good. Um, boy, I had a big my childhood. I was big into all the Schwarzenegger stuff, like the
Okay.
80s.
Yeah.
So like Predator would have been, if you asked me at that time in my life, would have been in my Mount Rushmore. Now I'm a more serious adult, maybe not. Um,
Mount
but
Rushmore
dang,
is war. I mean, it's a terrible question because there's so many good ones. So it's like a
there's
horrible
just
one to put on
so
the
many,
spot.
not particularly like a deep pull, but Lord of the Rings for sure is just
Yep, that's my number one.
it's
Ec-
so, and I just rewatched it during the holidays.
Got the One Ring
Yes,
right here. Elijah Wood
nice.
held this ring, by the way.
For real?
When
Hell
I met
yeah.
him, I got a picture with him. So this was held by Elijah Wood. It's my good luck charm.
Nice. It's so good and it holds up so well. So yeah, I guess that's what I'll toss at you. I'm gonna think as soon as we finish, I'm gonna think of 10 movies and be like, I should have
That's
said
what,
this one.
yeah.
But yeah,
Well, when we do that Smurf in the one day,
yes,
we'll do the
Smurf Let's
Smurf.
Play.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll Smurf Let's. I mean, hey, I'll probably be there in June. Big anniversary. I'll have to find an Atari and bring it.
That'd be great. You are coming. You think you're gonna head out here?
I most likely will. I'm just trying to figure out, timing. What's the date of it? Is it the 14th,
12th or
12th, 12th?
14th? No, maybe it is the 14th. You know my
It's a
dates better than I
Sunday,
do.
right?
Yeah, it's 14th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely am gonna be planning to make it. I'm just figuring out because I have like three different weddings in June, so I'm figuring out if I'm going from somewhere else or if I'm just gonna come from here. But there's
Mm.
no way I'm gonna miss that. So I'm
Ugh.
definitely gonna because I got a lot of fun surprises for you guys as well.
What?
I
Surprises. I don't know about this. Oh,
mean,
Alien.
I did.
Alien also is my
Yeah,
Mount
yeah,
Rushmore. See,
yeah, yeah.
I told you I was gonna start thinking of yeah.
I all I can say is I did not forget the Rizzler.
Oh my God. I will
I go all out.
anxiously await this.
Oh, just you wait, Eric. Just you wait. I have a nice gift for the whole team. It's going to be a
Amazing.
party. It is going to be a celebration. uh,
Awesome.
but anyways, man, I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for doing this. This has been
Yeah, this
such
was
a
super fun.
pleasure. This is such a fun experiment I'm doing. I plan on doing I'm probably going to drop 2 episodes a month for people interested. I have some really cool people lined up. Some are able to do it till far out as April or May. There's
Cool.
one person who's not really like I wouldn't not really a big I guess you could see in the gaming community, but someone cool that I've been fortunate enough to be put in touch with. So if I pull it off,
The
I'll tell.
Rizzler. You're gonna do an episode of The Rizzler.
I'll tell you as soon as I hit stop recording.
Okay, okay.
But but yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of fun things, and I hope people enjoyed this. This was the first.
Yeah, I hope it went
Er,
to your
Dude,
expectations.
this was awesome. This is exactly how I wanted it. I knew it was
Sweet.
gonna be a good conversation with you. I knew it was gonna be a very good
It
conversation with
was
you
very
because
fun for me.
so much lore. I'm happy you had it. And thank you for taking time out of your day for doing this, man.
Yeah,
I
happy
really
to.
appreciate that. So,
Cool.
to everyone, I hope everyone has a fantastic weekday, whenever. I'm probably uploading this February 18th. So, to those who stuck around, thank you so much. And, well, maybe one day we'll have the Popinator back in the future.
Anytime,
Maybe
anytime.
we'll have some more fun stuff for people. So thank you so much, guys. Much love to everyone and be safe.